Are we currently in an Islamic militant version of World War III, a repeat of the global patterns that led to World War II? Check out this clip over here with Glenn Beck reacting to Tucker Carlson's bit on Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Let's watch this clip and then talk about it.
Tucker did a podcast yesterday I listened to, or a couple of days ago, whenever it came out. I listened to it yesterday. And the reason why I listened to it is because so many friends were like, he's talking about Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Glenn, blah, 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 blah. And I don't want to get in. I'm not going to talk about personalities. I just want to talk about facts. You draw your own conclusion about who you listen to. You can listen to them or not listen to them. That's fine. But let's make sure we correct facts and not make it about personalities. Okay. Dietrich Bonhoeffer is one of my heroes. Dietrich Bonhoeffer is one of the greatest men to ever live. Dietrich Bonhoeffer is a Christian pastor. And let me set it up this way. When the Third Reich grew and the Weimar Republic collapsed, there was this movement in Christianity that happened quickly. Within the first year of the end of the Weimar and the beginning of the Nazi regime, within a year, 60% of the churches ridded themselves of everything Jewish. Okay, now that's hard to do when your main hero figure is a Jew and the entire history that said, hey, he's coming, is also written by Jews. Okay, it's the Old Testament. And by the way, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they were Jews too. So it's hard to rinse the Jew out of the Judeo-Christian world, but somehow or another, they did it. 60%. Okay, they'd gotten rid of, including many churches already had gone for it and gotten rid of the Old Testament. That is something that Hitler's people were really pushing for. Get rid of the Old Testament. Well, you don't have nothing left if you don't have the Old Testament with the New Testament. So the world had gone insane. The Christian world had gone insane. Within 6 months, many, if not most, of the churches had replaced the picture of Christ on the altar with a picture of Adolf Hitler. So he changed the fabric of Christianity entirely. And he was going after any pastor, priest, anybody who was preaching something different. Okay. There were a couple of pastors. One played along with it at first, Pastor Niemöller. And he's like, the first they came for this and I didn't say anything. And then they came for this. And he didn't say anything at first. Then he got it and he's like, oh, I shouldn't do it. But he was praised in the end for his unwavering faith. He actually stood. And he was one of the guys who preached that the Nazis were not to blame alone. They played their role. But may I quote, would the Nazis have been able to do what they had done if church members had been truly faithful Christians? The answer is no. Truly faithful. Now, Tucker said yesterday that he doesn't think that Bonhoeffer was, I don't remember the exact lines. I'll probably get it wrong. Do we have it? Okay, go ahead and play it.
Because once you start calling people Nazis, we really have no choice but to start shooting them. To be Dietrich Bonhoeffer and sort of reach the end of reason or even Christianity. Bonhoeffer decided Christianity's not even, he was a Lutheran pastor. Christianity's not enough. We have to kill the guy. I'm not judging Bonhoeffer, who was a great man in some ways, but
many ways.
That's inevitable once we decide that people are Nazis.
Okay. So his point here he's making about, we got to stop calling people Nazis, and he's absolutely right on it. You got to stop talking about calling people Nazis or shooting begins. Exactly right. Unless they are actual Nazis. You know what I mean? There's a difference between saying, hey, we should not call people Nazis who are not Nazis, and Dietrich Bonhoeffer shouldn't have called Hitler a Nazi. He was he's the idyllic Nazi. He's the king of all Nazis. He's a Nazi. So when it is a Nazi, I think you can call people Nazis. But yeah, that does require you then to make a choice. And that's where Bonhoeffer found himself. This guy was an amazing man. He was a pacifist. He did not believe in war. He did not believe in killing. And that's how he skated for a long time, because he was saying, quiet, quiet, quiet. Nope, nope, nope. Do not involve yourself in this. God does not want us to kill each other. He was a huge pacifist. His story goes back and forth. You got to read the Bonhoeffer book if you haven't read it, by Eric Metaxas. But he goes back and forth. He comes to the United States. He sees faith in action, actually in Harlem, and kind of has this renewed kind of faith experience. He goes back to Germany. He's there for a while. He knows now that Hitler is, because he's helping Jews escape, and he knows Hitler is on him, and he's closing in on him. He's going to get him. He leaves. He comes to the United States. He's here, and he starts feeling guilty. He's like, I can't leave my own country. I mean, I can't. I got to stand. I can't leave and hide. I've got to stand. So he goes back to Germany, I think on the last boat that is going into Germany. And he gets to Germany, and he starts plotting Valkyrie. He's part of Project Valkyrie. Valkyrie is the Tom Cruise movie you've seen, von Stauffenberg, a huge German hero who was not a Nazi, but he was a German soldier who decided, well, this has got to stop. And they planned with a lot of people who said, we got to stop Hitler, because look what he's doing. He's destroying everything, and he's killing millions, and it's got to stop. And Bonhoeffer, when he got back, he was wrestling with his pacifism, because he was a pacifist, a strong one. And he really believed.
Okay, so we're going to analyze this clip and the following clip right after we watch the second clip. The second clip is also Glenn Beck, and he's taking a caller. And we're really discussing, are we at a civil war? Has militant Islam suddenly infiltrated into our lands? And right now we have this massive face-off. Let's take a look how Glenn Beck deals with this caller, and then afterwards we'll discuss it. Let's have a look.
From New Jersey, it's Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, thanks for taking the calls today.
Sure.
I am worried that we are headed towards another French Revolution style, because we have entire generations, or actually people, just not being heard by their representatives. And it's not just here, it's around the world.
Mm-hmm. I had scheduled for this time, I'll just do it some other time, talking about what's happening in England. I think England is headed for a civil war, and it's very close. I mean, you can't put 4,000 people in jail or try them for hate crimes and speech crimes. You can't do that in England. You can't do that in 1 year and expect people to just put up with it. You can't, we're America doesn't understand yet. The world doesn't understand. We're in World War III. We're already in World War III. I don't know when it becomes a hot war, or even a war that we on our side recognize, but we are in World War III, and that foe is not China. That foe is militant Islam, period. And when we have a situation to where people are, when the government is just like, no, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. You've got illegals all over. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. It is a problem. Don't tell me what the problems are not, because we're the ones living it. You're the experts who keep telling us, no, it's going to work out fine. And it doesn't work out fine. And it just gets worse and worse. Oh, we can spend this money. No, it looks like we can't spend this money. Oh, we can afford this. No, looks like we can't afford this. Oh, you know what? If we do this with Ukraine, it'll work out fine. No, it didn't, did it? These endless wars, all of this stuff. Don't tell me what the problem is. Listen to the people and start talking to the people. Honestly, this is the reason why I'm doing this today. I need to hear from you. I need to know what's on your mind, so I stay focused and clear on what America is saying. Because I don't think, look, me taking phone calls is not a true representation of anything, but it does give me a sense of where you are as an audience. Maybe not as America, but as an audience. And there are lots of things that concern me, but I want to hear it from you. But I think you're right. We are headed for real trouble. All you need is real economic trouble. You start getting real, true economic trouble, 1930s kind of depression stuff, and we're in civil war. Dan, Oregon, welcome.
Hello, Glenn. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah, good. It's been a long time. I guess it's been over 10 years since I've had a chance to talk with you. I was one of your first insiders. I'd been listening to you since you were in Florida.
Wow.
So it's been a long. Yeah, it's been, and I can't say I've enjoyed all of it, but 99% of it's been absolutely
Neither have I.
great.
I can't say that either. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking on yesterday's show, reminiscing with Stu about how you guys started, and I remember those old shows, and the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment, and there was a lot more entertainment. I remember I laughed a lot.
Oh yeah,
back then.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Those days are long dead.
And there's nothing to laugh about now.
I'm afraid so. I really am. I'm 78. I still work 40 hours a week. I love my job.
Good for you. Good.
Been married for 55 years. I have 7 kids.
Good for you.
I've got a daughter.
Wow.
I've got a daughter who's in her 40s, and she has severe TDS. We don't. I mean, we're not cutting each other off. She hasn't done that at all. We're still very close as a family. But she was down visiting the other day and got into a conversation with my wife, and I wasn't in the room, but Kathy said it was just like listening to one of those young people out on the street that was being interviewed by the news media. And she was in tears about it, my wife and my daughter both. And I mean, I love her and I continue to support her. She's a single woman, not by choice. She just never found the right guy. And I really think that's part of the problem, because she started reading back when Trump was first running. She started reading all of this stuff about him being misogynistic and all of that stuff. And it's just gotten worse. I'm at a loss. I really am, because I see the country doing better. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I still feel like, at least right now, we're doing better as a whole. But what do we do about our kids she went to Portland State University for the last for the last 2 years. She went to a little college in Idaho called Rick's for the first 2 years, and Utah State. And then she served a mission for our church in Brazil and came home. But then she went to Portland State University, and it just seems to have gone downhill from there.
So, Dan, I think you are suffering from the same thing that almost all parents are suffering from. If you're not suffering from this, then, I mean, God bless you. Get on your knees and thank God, because you are a lucky, lucky family. Everybody has this in their family. I have it in my family. And you have to ask yourself, what is your goal? What is your goal with your daughter? Your real goal?
My real goal is for us to be united eternally. That's my goal. That's my goal as a father, has been to teach them that way, etc.
And how is that going to happen with politics?
we just stay together as a family, regardless of what politics does.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I think we're in a place now where, as parents, you can ask your kids, but it has to be honest. It cannot be trying to win. It has to be honest. How did you get there? I mean, I remember, we've talked about this before, and you didn't believe that before. What's changed? Can you help me with that? I'd like to see what you were reading or what that was. And just ask questions, but they have to be honest. They can't be, because I'm setting you up because I want to change your mind.
Okay. So Glenn Beck, in these two interviews, lays out two different phenomenons that are happening. Number one, something happened during the Holocaust, the Nazis and the church. And since that time, Christianity has taken pretty much a U-turn, especially with the Christian Zionists. But Islam has gone extreme. And we have, for the past several years, since October 7th, in Israel, been seeing the ugly face of Islamic militants. And we have Mamdani, who's a Shia Muslim, the only nation or country in the world that follows Shia Muslim is Iran. And they believe that if it's raining, a Jew cannot be outside lest a drop of water hits him, bounces off, and makes a Muslim impure. Now, 90% of the Muslims are not this way. But I want to talk to you for a second about where we are right now. You see, Glenn Beck is trying to understand what we can do. Is it perhaps just we need to explain what's going on? Or perhaps the question over here isn't whether or not Israel is moral or Israel is immoral, but rather the question is God moral or is God immoral? Did God give the Torah to the Jews, and are the Jews following that morality? And that simply sums it up, and I'll explain to you what I say. The only hatred of the Jews comes from the Torah, the commandments, and it's this moral compass that is really the issue here. And what's at stake is the Word of God. You see, it is pretty binary. And, the Christian world within itself has many factions. And without getting into that, I'll leave that to Rabbi Tovia Singer to describe. And the Islamic world also has many factions. But what's happening right now is the end time prophecy of these two worlds colliding, Esav and Yishmael, Ishmael and Esav, and the Jewish people. It's very old, but, it wasn't for a very long time that we had so much trouble with Ishmael, with the Islamic world. Historically, the Jews lived in peace with our Arab nations, but something has switched. Perhaps what has switched is similar to what has switched in the 1930s and 40s. And perhaps we could rethink about what's happening right now and see, are we with the Jewish people? Are we with the children of God? Are we supporting Israel? And it really boils down to picking a side. You see, before Mashiach comes, before the Messiah comes, all evil must go up against good. And when that happens, that is Gog Umagog. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and look out for more content. Leave messages in the comments. I do try to read all the messages. Thank you for watching. Shalom from Israel, and may we all witness the coming of Messiah shortly, soon, with world peace and everybody's knowledge of God. Thank you.